I'm Dan Ackerman, and we're here taking a look at the new Asus Eee Pc T91. We first caught a glimpse of this guy back at CES in January of 2009. It is the first convertible tablet netbook that we've seen. It's a fairly useful integration of two different technologies, and you end up with something that's kind of half netbook, half tablet PC. Now, the way it ends up working is you have your regular netbook like this. It's got a 9-inch screen instead of the 10-inch screen we're more used to seeing, so it's a little bit smaller. It's also very thin and light, and when you're ready to use it as a tablet, you can just take this display, rotate it around, and fold it down flat, and look at that, you've got a touchscreen tablet. Now, this works with both your finger or with the included little dummy stylus right over here. And of course, you can rotate through the different views by holding down this button to get the orientation that you want. So you can hold it kind of like a book, like it's your Kindle-style ebook reader, or we can just go back to the traditional landscape view. So part of the problem of using a touch interface on a small screen, whether it's on a netbook like this or on those UMPCs we used to see, is that your big fat fingers don't always work well with Windows XP on such a tiny screen. So what Asus has done is set up their own custom interface with larger icons that makes the whole thing a lot easier to use. So in order to launch this custom interface, you click down on this little top bar right here, and you touch this button, and then the machine flips into this kind of three-part interface. Part one is a quick launch bar with 5 big icons on it, which makes it easy to launch stuff like Internet Explorer, like there's a notepad program, there's a memo program, there's a little program for messing around with photos. If you click on that, it kind of gives you their own custom photo interface, which is kind of fun because you hit this little scramble button right here, and everything kind of jumbles around. You can take the pictures, and you can move them like this, and you're supposed to be able to rotate them too, but there we go. Every time I try, I just end up launching the full-size pictures, yeah, just like that. And if you don't like any of these 5 choices up here, little slider button right here, hit this, and you get a fuller menu of programs. You can drag any of these up to take up any of those 5 slots right there. Now, if you take your finger and you flick, you go to a third screen, and this is the widget engine for the T91, and you just click down here. It's just like Yahoo widgets, and you can drag these different tools, and you can just put them up here on the screen wherever you like, and then when you're done with that, you just give it another flick, and it eventually goes back to the Windows XP desktop. If you see all that taking a little time, that's partially because this guy uses the slower Z520 version of Intel Atom CPU instead of the more common and faster N270 or even N280 that we see in a lot of netbooks. We would have liked to see the faster chip even at the expense of some battery life. So the combination of a touchscreen and a small, low-cost, low-power netbook really seems like a fairly obvious mashup of pretty useful technologies, and in execution, even though this is kind of a first-generation attempt from Asus, they really do get a lot of it right, and they put a lot of attention into their custom interfaces, and they take a little getting used to, but we're really largely pleased with the results. I'm Dan Ackerman, and that's the Asus Eee Pc T91.
What's up, Brian Tong here, and if you want the scoop for all the good and bad inside the Apple world, then the only thing you should be watching is CNET's Apple Byte. I'll give you the latest news, rumors, tips, apps of the week, and even call out the bad apples. So watch it all at cnet.com/AppleByte, and I'll see you there.